Hello there everyone, welcome back to Press for Truth TV. I hope you all had a great weekend. Today is Monday, February 27th, 2012, and there is currently a huge situation going on here in Canada in regards to the Robocall scandal that has just rocked this nation. A lot of evidence is coming out that the Conservative Party has engaged in election fraud last year, which ended up gaining Stephen Harper his majority government. So let me just start off right off the bat by saying that we know that Stephen Harper is a tool of the international financiers. There's no doubt that he is just a puppet of the global elite and he is simply doing their bidding. Stephen Harper was invited to attend a Bilderberg conference back in 2003. And he attended that meeting. He was there in Versailles, France, and he obviously made a good impression and showed his allegiance and his loyalty to the steering committee, because just 3 years later, this relatively unknown man becomes Prime Minister of Canada for the next 6 years, and has been carrying out their agendas all along. And it's very clear that Stephen Harper is not out for the best interests of Canadians, but instead just doing the bidding of his Bilderberg overlords there at the steering committee at Bilderberg. And, you know, it's evident when you look at some of the things he's trying to do. Just look at all the spying bills lately, with Bill C-30 and the Protecting Children from Internet Predators Act, where they want to monitor everything you're doing online without a warrant. Or just look at Bill C-10 and his introduction of mandatory minimum sentences for non-violent crimes. You know, and not to mention Harper's agenda for a North American Union that he's been pushing through for years now, with all the trade deals, the border deals, the security deals that he's been putting together. So there's a clear picture. There's no doubt he's doing the bidding of the international financiers who are pulling the strings, and that's just simply what he's here to do. And I remember, you know, just last year when he gained his majority, I remember thinking, how on earth could Canadians vote this guy in again? I mean, especially after what took place at the G20 summit here in Toronto under his watch. We all seen it. If you haven't, check out our film Into the Fire. I'll put a link in the description. But I remember just thinking to myself, how on earth could Canadians vote this guy back in? And well, it turns out they didn't. This Robocall Scandal made it so that many of the voters couldn't take part on election day. And the way this pretty much boils down is there's a company based out of Edmonton called Rack9, who they run an automated telephone service where they will play automated messages, and these phone calls were made last year on election day in what now some are saying in over 34 different ridings. So this is a concentrated effort all across the nation where these phone calls were made to non-conservatives, instructing them that the location for their polling stations has changed. So this ended up causing a great deal of confusion and resulted in a lot of people not being able to make it to the polls on time on election day and not being able to cast their vote and have a say. This is complete and total fraud by the Conservative Party, and as I said, it's not like it's just some little rogue conservatives across the country trying to do this. This was a concentrated effort all across the nation. And as I understand it, I believe he only got his majority by, I think, over 6,000 votes or something, so it was very close. So there's no doubt that these robocalls did play a part in Stephen Harper gaining his majority government, which makes me think that this majority government is an illegitimate one. He did not legitimately get it. He engaged in fraud to do so. So Canadians really should be completely outraged at this point that, you know, we've been lied to, cheated and robbed. Stephen Harper stole the election, and Canadians really ought to be outraged at this point. And so right now is the key time to not let this just slip under the radar. We have to hold him accountable for his actions, and it appears that a good way to do that right now, just because this idea is spreading right now, it's going viral, and that's the petition route, and signing a petition and letting him know that your reign is over. Your days as Prime Minister of this country are over, and we the people no longer want you to represent us, and you, sir, are fired. And there are hundreds of petitions popping up all over the place right now, thousands of signatures, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands over the next few days. And if we keep this up, and there are millions of Canadians who say, your time is up, Stephen Harper, the people have spoken, and we no longer want you representing us, so you, sir, are fired. I certainly think that is what needs to happen. And so it's quite possible that with enough signatures, this could lead to a full federal, independent public inquiry in order to really get to the bottom of just who exactly is responsible. But ultimately, Stephen Harper should be held accountable and should be removed from the government. Now, it's not really just good enough to just remove Harper. We need a complete clean sweep of his entire cabinet. You know, if we just take Harper out, they'll just install another puppet, and the machine is already set in place, and they'll continue to keep the ball rolling. So we have to have a total overhaul. But before we get ahead of ourselves here, let's just focus on the task at hand, which is holding the Conservatives accountable for engaging in this election fraud through this Robocall scandal. So once again, guys, do everything you can at this point to share this information, spread this video around, share this video. Go into the description and check out the petition. It only takes 30 seconds of your time, maybe a minute tops, to go online and sign a petition. So that is a good thing that you can do. That is a tangible, that is a physical thing that can be taken and shown to the government, and to say, look, we have this many Canadians saying, your days are numbered, your reign is over, you, sir, have been fired. So yeah, guys, that's it for today. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Please sign the petition, share the video, and let's hold this Bilderberg elitist accountable for what he is trying to do in taking away Canadians' rights and ruling with an iron fist. And I think it's safe to say we've had enough, and his days are numbered. So that's it, guys, for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow at pressfortruth.tv.